one of the reasons we ordered it the way we did also is doing a record label, for all of you who've ever done one, it's a pretty thankless job. You really have to have a strong stomach and some self-confidence to keep going. And we wanted to kind of give due to the labels, and that's why we organized it that way. These labels work really, really hard, and I never made $1 on my label, and I'm sure that's probably similar.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you ball pretty hard.
I ball pretty hard. Yeah. Let's go to the next one.
All right, next one. Oh, it's epic. I'll let you take this one.
Yeah, so that's a monthly series that was put up by Amphetamine Reptile out of Minneapolis for the Melvins, who many of you know. And it's the same artwork on all of them, but it's a foil emboss on different colored stocks and different colored vinyl. And they did a different single every month for a year. It drove record collectors insane. So, but we called Tom, who ran and still runs the label, and he sent them to us, and we included him in the book.
And he wrote a fantastic essay. I mean, This is a guy who was a Marine.
Oh, his essay is incredible. I strongly recommend once you read the book. It's my favorite part of the book.
But for a lot of the designers in here that designed all these records, which we credited, they weren't professional designers. They were guys who had like a creative vision and needed a platform and a canvas to kind of do their thing on. And so being a record label was a way for them to do that, still be involved in packaging and something artistic, and really teach themselves how to design, similarly to how you.
Yeah, Tom is completely self-taught. He was in the Marines and was designing these now legendary singles with ruby lith and an X-Acto knife, just kind of having an idea of what he wanted to do. Dude, stop putting reverb on my voice.
And that's kind of the point too, is like, this book was also meant, hopefully, to whoever is interested in it, to be inspirational and kind of affirming, like, I can do this.
Or it's like an art book. It's meant to be a lot of things,
right.
But it's really incredible to see all of it together.
Oh, nice. We can go to the next one. Thanks for doing that, Lillian. It's nice of you. Stereolab, clearly IPP, well, you know, is a guy, Bruce Leiker. He was in a band called Savage Republic, based in Arizona now. Did a lot of work with REM here in Georgia. He's a letterpresser, and he's probably, technically, from a skill perspective, maybe the most proficient designer in the book. I mean, his letterpress ability, his composition, his color use, is kind of unmatched. His complexity in construction and packaging, but there's a ton of his work in the book. We wanted to call it the Stereolab example. I mean, and this is a theme that comes up often in the book too, which is kind of taking an old source material, making it yours, and tweaking it.
Yeah, what's the source material?
It's an old jazz record that was a 12-inch, and those are all stamps. They're calendars, but they're on stamp.
Yeah, he made a stamp sheet.
But this happens a lot. I mean, a lot of these are kind of inside design jokes, or like, I saw this, it's not in the book, but an example would be you have the 50 million fans, Can't Be Wrong Elvis record, and then you have the 50,000 fans Can't Be Wrong Fall record. Mm-hmm. And then the Bon Jovi 500 million fans?
Dude, I don't know anything about Bon Jovi.
Just saying. Okay, we can keep going. That's a pop-up book. The presidents actually pop up when you open the 7-inch. That's my band, like a hardcore kind of crust-punk band called, political hardcore band called Los Crudos, who are out of Chicago. Martine, who is the singer of that band, and Limp Wrist, and a bunch of other pretty awesome grindy bands. He's also now a professional designer, but got his start. He had literally zero money. This was all found paper, recycled paper, magic marker. He X-Acto cut each pop-up book. Each one was bent and constructed, like, with just excess paper holding up the pop-up.
But the great thing is, like, it's much like the way I learned to do design. You kind of learn the mechanics from the ground up instead of going to school where they kind of entrap you with how to do stuff, and instead, when you come from this perspective, it's much more laissez-faire and a lot more, it's like, I just want to know, I know what I want to do, and then you just go and do it. Okay. Instead of just thinking, okay, well, I guess we have to send it off to a binder. No. Let's just get some glue guns and we'll do it all ourselves.
Exactly. And other work and we can go to the next slide, but other work of his in the book, he screen printed the track listing and all the bands that are on a comp on a paper towel, because literally that's all he could afford. So he bought like a 400 roll count paper towel pack, and then screen printed each paper towel. So this is Simple Machines Records, which is a touchstone absolutely for the book, and one of the earlier inspirations. It started in like.
Well, and one of the label heads actually wrote a great story for the book.
Absolutely.
Kristen, who lives in Philadelphia now, she wrote about how she learned design, which is very, again, as a designer and looking up to her as an example, it was very inspiring. So.
And she's really big, and this is one of the legacies that Simple Machines gave us. She was very big on community and on resource sharing and on helping people empower to do themselves. I mean, she come out of the DC scene. I mean, Discord had a huge, like, omnipresent, sort of specter on that scene of, do it yourself, figure out how to do it, we'll help you, provide resources, you can do anything you want. So they actually published a zine called The Mechanic's Guide to Making Records.
Which I still own.
Oh, it's epic.
Yeah, of course.
Super epic. But that came out in, like, the early 90s, and it was, here's what you do if you want to do it yourself and make records. Mm-hmm. And we're hoping that, this book can carry on that tradition, and that, like, if you see how a record is made in our book, you can just go replicate that.
Can we wrap this up, because there's a drum circle starting outside, and I got a vibe out for a little while.
Wow.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, we can wrap it up. We'll just show you the Cop Shoot Cop record, and then we can call it a day because Henry's cranky. We can keep going. So this one is the most. That's it.
See, I'll explain this, because like I bought my copy. That's mine on the left. I bought that in the Bowery in 19.
It's mine on the right.
Really? No, I bought mine on the left in 1991 in the Bowery, and that's pig's blood splattered on top of that record. And so each one was different, and I think it was just a much different time. Like, you look at that now, and it each one has individuality, but at the time it just seemed so startling that anybody would be doing that.
I mean, more than it's pig's blood than each one being unique.
Right.
But yeah.
Well, I mean, but the music inside was certainly representative of that aesthetic, which was kind of, savage. I mean, it really is kind of startling when you're in a record store and you go, the hell is that? Oh, it's pig's blood. Jesus Christ. So
that's it. I mean, we can leave you with that. There's a lot more.
And if anybody has questions,
yeah.
I mean, thanks for sitting around and hearing two record nerds talk about record nerd stuff. But does anybody have questions?
Okay, we're used to crickets. Don't worry.
I'm not.
All right, well, like you do, we're hanging out for a little bit, and you can come talk to us. I hope you enjoyed the book, and thank you, everybody, for coming out and listening.
Yeah, thank you.
Nice.